Hello students, welcome to your English class. In today's class children, we are going to learn about Unit 2 Ivan Story textbook exercises. Children, this is the index of what we are going to learn. Grammar and usage, words in use, speaking and writing. The first topic in grammar and usage is about verbs. Children, what are verbs? Verbs are doing or action words. Okay? Whatever action we do, okay, it is called as verbs. For example, drive, walk, talk, jump, write, run, read and swim. Okay, there are different kinds of verbs, children. So we are going to learn about finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Let us learn the definition for finite verbs. Finite verbs change their form with change in person, number or tense. For example, I break, he breaks, they break, I broke. So you can see in the box there is a clear picture of how the finite verb changes with the change in person, change in number and change in tense. Let's see the example. He plays the violin. When it is singular, we are using singular verb. The change in person, if it is singular verb, singular person, then I have to use play. I play the violin. If there is a change in number of students or people, then we use the students play the violin. Change in the tense, either it is past tense, future tense or present tense, we change according to the tense. So the example is he played the violin. Another example, he is happy, I am happy, the students are happy, he was happy. So you can change how finite verbs change with a change in person, number and tense. Now let us learn about non-finite verbs. Children, non-finite verbs do not change their forms according to the subject. If the subject is singular or plural, they don't change according to the subject. Children, there are three kinds of non-finite verbs. You can see the three kinds here. The first one is the infinitive. That means you can add to. The rule for this is TO2 plus verb. She wants to sing, they want to sing, he wanted to sing. Whatever the change is there in the subject, but you can see the infinitive is not changing. Okay, 2 plus verb form. The next one is gerund. That means verb plus ing doing the work of a noun. Actually, it is a verb, but it is doing the work of a noun. So those words are called as gerunds. We usually add ing to the verb form. She enjoys singing, they enjoy singing, he enjoyed singing. The next one is the participle. Children, there are two types in participle, the present participle and the past participle. To the present participle, we add verb plus ing form. He is singing, they are singing, she has been singing. Okay? When you add verb plus ing, it becomes present participle. The past participle. To the verb, when you add d or ed or en, then it's called as past participle. He has sung, they have sung, she had sung. Okay? The verb is not changing. Is it clear? So this is all about non-finite verbs. You can see the difference between finite and non-finite verbs through this chart. Finite verbs acts as a verb. Non-finite does not act as a verb. It acts as the main verb of a clause in a sentence. It acts as a noun, adjectives and adverbs. Finite verbs indicate person, number and tense. But non-finite verbs do not indicate person, number and tense. Finite verbs are used in present tense and past tense. Non-finite verbs are used in infinitives, gerunds and participles. Finite verbs appear in dependent and independent clauses, whereas non-finite verbs appear in infinitival, participle and gerund participle clause. I hope you have understood very clearly about finite verbs and non-finite verbs. There is an exercise, children, in textbook page number 17. Use the words in capital letters to complete these sentences as shown. Mark the finite verbs F and non-finite verbs as NF. Okay. So the main verb, the base form of the verb is given as cook. Using that, you have to complete the above given sentences. We'll see the first one, and the other bits you can try to do it on your own and check the answers. I am not cooking anything for lunch. Let's go out. See here, cooking is changed to cook plus ing form. Tell me whether it is finite or non-finite. It is non-finite. He knows how to cook a 20-course meal for a wedding. We have learned the first thing, the infinitives. So it is to cook. So it is non-finite. She cooks only on the weekend. Because she is there, here we are adding s, cooks. We are changing the verb to singular form. So it is finite verbs. Similarly, you can do the second one. The base verb is leave. The third one, enjoy. The fourth one is win. And the fifth one is read. You have to write according to the sentence and write whether it is finite or non-finite verb. In words in use, children, we are going to learn about what is a phrase. Children, the definition for phrase is, a phrase is a small group of words that adds meaning to a word. Okay, this is the definition of phrase. We are now going to learn about phrasal verbs. What are they, children? Phrasal verb is a combination of two words. It has how many parts? It has two parts. One is verb and the other one is preposition. Okay, at least one preposition will be there. So, a phrasal verb is a combination of verb plus preposition. What is preposition, children? In the name itself, it is telling that it is telling the position of a noun. Okay, it is telling the position of a person, place, animal or thing. So, a phrasal verb is a combination of verb plus preposition. Here is a list of phrasal verbs with the verb blow. You can see blow out. The meaning of blow out is when a flame stops burning. Example, Kia blew out the candles on the cake. Blow up, to fill something with air. Example, he is blowing up the balloons. Blow down, when a strong wind makes something fall down. Example, last night the fence was blown down by the wind. Blow out, when something flies about in different directions. Example, the clothes are blowing out in the wind. Blow over, to go away without having a serious effect. Example, wait till the storm blows out. It's not safe to go out now. So here you have seen a list of phrasal verbs with blow. Children, you have an exercise on phrasal verbs with blow in textbook page number 18, A bit. Let us see the first one. The children blew up so many balloons that the room was filled with them. So what is the phrasal verb here? Blew up. Okay. Please go through this exercise. Next, we are going to learn about homonyms. Children, what are homonyms? Homonyms are words that have same pronunciation. The sound will be same. Their spelling will be same, but they will have different meanings. Okay. For example, you can see here bat. Bat is the name of a bird, as well as bat is a thing which is used to play the game, right? So you can see a phrasal verb will have a same pronunciation, same spelling, but it will have different meanings. Am I clear with the homonyms, children? Yes. So here there are some homonyms given here along with their meanings. Watch means to see, as well as a thing which shows time. Play, a piece of writing in the form of dialogues for acting out. To take part in game. Land, an area of ground. Arrive somewhere in a plane or boat. There is a exercise in test book, page number 19, B-bit. So you can see here, I think I must have lost my watch. So watch is the homonym used here. Similarly, you can go through the exercise. Speaking, children. In speaking, we are going to learn about how to give a speech. For that, you should know what is a speech, right? A speech is a long spoken form of communication. It can be planned or unplanned, formal or informal, meant for a big or small audience. A speech is used to thank people, impart information, persuade people to do something. As we are always giving speech when there is some occasion in the school, we give speech on Teachers' Day, Children's Day, Republic Day. So it can be formal or informal, it can be planned or unplanned. There is an exercise, children, in test book, page number 20. You have to imagine you are Mac. You suddenly understand what Ivan has been going through. You give a speech at a conference for the protection of wild animals. You have to prepare a short speech of about 3 minutes. So these are the points that you can use when you are preparing your speech. What you first did in the forest and why you did it. Then what you did with Ivan's condition and how you felt about it. Finally, say what you will do in the future. So this is what you are going to do. You have to prepare a speech. The last topic is writing. Children, we are supposed to write a paragraph using linkers. So you should know first what are linkers, right? There is an exercise in test book, page number 21. Children, linkers are something, it will help us to connect to two sentences into one sentence. Two sentences can be joined by a connector or a linker. Children, linker is also called as connector. For example, they are poor. This can be a sentence. They are honest can be another sentence. But what we did here, we combined two different sentences into one sentence with the help of but. Okay, so but is the linker and also called as connector. Here is a list of some connectors and linkers which will help you to create paragraphs, to write paragraphs. This is the exercise given in the test book, children. Write a paragraph on how a village girl who loved elephants helped to heal them. Use the linkers given here. Give your paragraph a title. You have to write a paragraph using the given linkers. They also gave the hints to write the paragraph. All the best, children. You can write well using these linkers. Hope you have understood, children. Thank you.